All right, I do want to talk about something very serious, which is that the United States is under attack. It's under attack by Trump, Elon Musk, and the MAGA economic ideology. The year is 2025, and we're under siege, but it's not an alien invasion or a zombie apocalypse or an army that is crossing our border. In a way, it's more insidious because it's less obvious to many Americans. It's an attack from within, and it's been orchestrated by Donald Trump, by his billionaire sort of friend enemy, Elon Musk, and the MAGA ideology. And their weapon of choice is a cocktail, a smorgasbord of economic self-sabotage, performative populism, and a little bit of authoritarianism. Now, later we're going to talk in detail about Trump's new sovereign wealth fund that may look at buying TikTok. But I do want to mention that there is this idea, Trump as the deal maker wants to put together a sovereign wealth fund, the likes of which Saudi Arabia has, and maybe buy TikTok. Except instead of using the sovereign wealth fund a little more like Saudi Arabia does, which is fund infrastructure, reduce the national debt, which Trump said he wanted to do, Trump wants the government to buy a social media app. Why? Well, he says, if we own it, we will make it great. It'll be the best platform. Governments don't have a great track record of running social media outlets, especially not MAGA governments. And then meanwhile, Elon Musk is lurking in the background, tweeting cryptic emojis and saying he's going to optimize this and he's going to deal with that and Doge and the federal payment system. And of course, we know from Elon Musk running X that they really aren't very good at this. So we've got sovereign wealth fund by TikTok, maybe. We'll talk about that later. Then we've got tariffs. I don't want to spend a lot of time on tariffs. They are part of the attack that Trump has launched on the United States, but we've dealt with them in detail. China, Canada, Mexico. He's decided we're going to make America great again by making everything more expensive in the United States. Our biggest energy supplier, Canada, let's put a tariff on them. China, the main source of cheap consumer goods like your iPhone, get ready to pay more. Mexico, one of our largest food suppliers, Trump will tariff them. Some of those are now temporarily paused. We'll see if he ultimately does it. But this is, again, another attack on the United States. Prices up, supply chains collapsing, American consumers left wondering, why are eggs even more expensive? Why is milk even more expensive? But I guess he's owning the libs or something. Sovereign wealth fund tariffs. Number 3, immigration. Trump's deportation fantasy is sort of how to destroy the economy in one move. Not only do we now have reporting that some of the arrested migrants are just being released back into the country. We'll deal with that a little bit later. But industries like agriculture, construction, and hospitality, many already struggling to find workers, will get crushed overnight. Farms will go fallow. Restaurants will close. Construction projects will grind to a halt. And Trump says, well, Americans will do those jobs. And of course, this is not sort of moral or ethical analysis. It's simply they don't seem to be wanting to do them. It just doesn't seem to be happening unless the wages go way up, in which case everything will cost way more, which is fine, except Americans don't actually want that. Elon Musk sees it as a business opportunity. He's talking about, self-driving, solar-powered farm robots, all sorts of wild stuff. I mean, maybe, okay? But it ignores the fact that most farmers can't even afford a new tractor. And Elon thinks we're going to sell them Tesla bots, farming robots, or whatever. So Trump and Elon's America is a self-inflicted and disastrous attack on America. And we have an economy right now. I'm hoping that the tariffs are paused indefinitely. That's my hope. I would rather Trump just not do it and not see Americans suffer. But we can't, if you look at the stock market every day, you can't deny that this is really an American economy that's teetering. It's teetering. And Trump and Elon are already taking victory laps, saying we've gotten rid of woke policies and we're taking control back from the globalist elite and all of that stuff. And meanwhile, we're kind of left wondering what's going to happen tomorrow. Is our 401k going to take a 5% hit tomorrow? How did 2 billionaires end up becoming the architects of America's decline? Arguably the best slash worst part is that Elon Musk, the free speech warrior, is suddenly cheering Donald Trump's plan to expand government control over business and the economy and social media and the workforce. They used to be small government Republicans. Keep the government out of the free market. But that has changed. And it's not even, as I said last week, the left-right spectrum is kind of broken. It's not even about saying they are no longer on the right. The right has changed. The right used to be much more about smaller government. They've become much more about bigger government in a whole bunch of areas. So America is under a form of attack. It's not from immigrants. It's not from foreign countries, except insofar as Trump has catalyzed retaliation from other countries. It's not woke corporations or social media platforms taking away your free speech. It's the authoritarian economic plans of Donald Trump. It's the tariffs that will crush the middle class. It's the immigration crackdowns that will cripple industry. Musk's along for the ride. He's cheering it. He's dancing on stage. He says he's a visionary. He's going to cut some stuff and maybe even do this to self-aggrandize and enrich his own businesses. But it is a form of sabotage. And the real winners are Trump's ego, Musk's wallet, and probably whatever billionaire grift comes next. What will we have? Maybe TikTok owned by the federal government. Does not exactly sound like small government to me, that's for sure. Once again, Donald Trump's cabinet picks are all about loyalty over expertise. Election denier Kari Lake to lead Voice of America, the government-funded broadcaster meant to report unbiased news. Ground News found hundreds of articles covering this story, which is an app I've trusted for years to help me critically analyze the news I consume. Our sponsor, Ground News, doesn't tell you what to think. They show you each news outlet's biases, credibility, financial incentives, so you know who's benefiting from the spin they put on each story. You can even filter out certain sources you don't want, so you can stay informed without getting buried in the noise. Trump is shaping our future in ways that will last decades. And if we're not paying attention, we will allow history to repeat itself. So stay engaged with Ground News, who is fixing what is breaking right in front of us, the trust and transparency in the media. Ground News is giving my audience 50% off the same Vantage plan that I use. Go to ground.news/Pacman. The link is in the description, or scan my QR code.